Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. So it's April 2018. We're going to look at the best case scenario for, of course, the incumbent president, Donald Trump, in the year 2020. I'm going to be doing both a best Democratic prediction and best Republican prediction because obviously they both have certain states that could go either way, and it's never going to be definite until we come actually to the 2020 election and see the results for ourselves. But we're 932 days away from the 2020 presidential election. I'm pretty sure they'll go by pretty fast. But let me turn on volume real quick. So we're talking about the best case scenario for the president. So certain states probably aren't going to flip. We go over to a state like New York, his home state isn't going to flip, even in his best case scenario. States like New Jersey and Delaware and Maryland probably aren't going to flip. Keep in mind, we're doing a realistic best case scenario. We're not doing a what if he shifts the national map 25 percentage points, because that's never going to happen. We're doing a case where he keeps all of his promises and gains a number of voters, meaning he had an uncontested primary, the full backing of the Republican Party, and the Democrats had a pretty weak party, and they had a really weak candidate. So obviously everything would have to be perfect for him to win by these margins that I'm going to give him. But again, like I said, it's his best case scenario. So it's obviously not a regular election prediction. So it's probably not going to happen. As of right now, the Democrats hold pretty much 182 electoral votes solidly in their column. And, you could say a state like Oregon or Washington could go either way, but it really can't. It's never going to in the modern political era, especially with how partisan these voters have become. And it's not looking so good for a landslide for either candidate. I really don't think there will be a Democratic or Republican landslide in the near future unless we have 8 years of a Trump presidency and we see something similar to 2008 with extended minority turnout, which is anything but likely at this point. So going through the electoral map, in his best case scenario, he would hold on to all the states he carried in 2016, obviously. I mean, if he did in 2016, in his best case scenario, he'd likely do it again in 2020. So we're going to go through the map. Obviously, he wins Florida, North Carolina, Ohio, Indiana, Iowa, and sweep the Rust Belt. So this puts him at 306 electoral votes with that one electoral vote in Maine to the Democrats' 182. As of right now, that Trump, it's going to be a little bit hard for him to carry Virginia. But if he gains a number of voters, Hillary Clinton only won it by around 5%. So he could have a possibility of winning there. He also has a possibility of winning Minnesota, which narrowly went for the Democrat, of course, Hillary Clinton. It's the state that's been more Democratic than the state of California when we're talking about presidential election voting history. But it is possible for a flip. It almost flipped in 2016. So state of Minnesota, I haven't seen that red in a very long time. I don't think in very few of my predictions have I given Minnesota to Donald Trump because it's just a state that I've always seen as blue, and I really don't think he's going to carry Minnesota. But again, anything's possible. And he would pretty much carry Nevada. I mean, that's pretty much going for him if in his best case scenario, along with New Hampshire. I mean, these two states almost went for him in 2016. There's no way they wouldn't go for him in his best case scenario. Over in Maine, although that one electoral vote definitely has extremely partisan voters, I really think Trump can grasp onto those voters. If he takes a weak Democratic Party, they're still angry, and let's say there's like a Bernie Sanders type split again, all Trump needs to do is capitalize on that, have an uncontested primary, bring back GOP voters, and he really just needs to hold on to his base. So really, this puts him at 342 electoral votes for President Trump and 182 for the Democrats. Now, obviously, they're going to be at 182, and that's the only number they're going to get. And states like Colorado and New Mexico would probably go to Trump in his best case scenario. Now, this leaves pretty much every part of the country red. I mean, the West, the middle of the country, up in the North, we see red. And Illinois being that one island of blue, that's pretty much all it will be. I mean, there won't be any Democratic forces in Virginia, in New Mexico, in Colorado, in Nevada, in Minnesota. Illinois will pretty much be the only state from New York to California that will be blue. And across the United States, it would pretty much be red up and down and around. So really, the best case scenario for President Trump as of today, I really do not see this changing anytime in the future. And if it is, it's not going to be something drastic. It won't be like a California change. It may be Washington becoming less competitive. But in his best case scenario, he would win the 2020 general election with 356 electoral votes to the Democrats' 182. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you all tomorrow.